Here's one interesting question. Can India's economy overtake China in 2050? Well, to be honest, no one knows, but there are signs. If you look at the economic growth of both China and India over the last 50 years, that will give you some clues. In this video, we will show you our predictions on whether India can overtake China in terms of economy. But before we begin, why China and India? Why do people love to compare these two countries? Well, first, China and India are the two most populous countries in the world, accounting for nearly 40% of the global population. Second, China and India are considered major emerging markets. Their economic developments, policies, and market dynamics have attracted international interest. Many global companies seek to tap into the vast consumer bases and business opportunities in these countries. Third, as rising powers, China and India exert considerable geopolitical influence regionally and globally. And perhaps, most importantly, China and India represent contrasting economic and political models. China follows a state-led, export-oriented development approach with a strong emphasis on manufacturing and infrastructure. India, in contrast, follows a more market-driven approach with a focus on services and knowledge-based industries. Comparing these models provides insights into different development paths. Thus, people love to compare India to China. GDP growth. Now, take a look at this data. You can see that there were many years when China has a GDP growth of over 10%. On the other hand, this is India's GDP growth, and for the last 30 years, India has never experienced a GDP growth of above 10%. Therefore, if everything remains, India can never overtake China in the future. The reason is simple: while India is growing, China is also growing. So, if India wants to overtake China in terms of economy, India has a lot of work to do. It has to experience exponential GDP growth, not just the normal, linear growth. India to overtake China. Well, India can overtake China in the future, but there are a few factors at play. First, India must go through exponential growth, because it can never overtake China if it remains at the same growth rate. Second, China's economy collapses. There is a possibility that this could happen given the current tension with the US. If a war broke out and China goes to war with the US, then China's economy will most likely collapse, and that will create an opportunity for India to overtake China. Or there is another possibility, which is China faces economic slumps, is unable to grow, and at the same time, India is growing rapidly. However, the probability of this scenario happening is slim because China will not just sit around and do nothing. In conclusion, do you think India can overtake China in 2050? Well, we believe that there is a possibility, but it is extremely difficult to happen. Leave your comments and tell us what you think.